Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. We're going to work on a project that's been long put off, but I finally got the pieces and parts together to complete my work on the Shimano Calcutta 251. It's a narrow frame, and it's the bait caster that I like to use, but I just haven't gotten around to tuning it up, and with these winter days and all, it's time. So the last time I had done this, I had worked on the reel and made it work acceptable, but I thought I would try the ceramic bearings, so I went out to smoothdrag.com and bought the ceramic bearings, and I figured while I was at it, let's go ahead and get the ceramic or the Carbontex washers for this this reel. So let's show you how to do that, and let's see if it makes a difference. Right now it's kind of punky, but most of these are. In the when you go to free spool these, they just don't seem to free spool very well. But let's see if those Carbontex washers make a difference. So we're going to start by removing the external pieces, and that includes the handle and the star assembly and the like. And while I do that, I generally like to take a moment to thank our frontline heroes. Those are the folks that are keeping us safe during this pandemic, all the folks that are in medical and fire and EMT, as well as all of our essential workers, and the folks behind the scenes that are making sure that our supply lines are remaining full and stocked. And also a special shout out to the folks that are involved in distributing the vaccine and making sure that those shots get in our arms. So I just took the handle off. That was a 10mm nut. This is a left-handed reel, so everything kind of works in reverse, where you might have expected to remove the star drag by going counterclockwise. You actually go clockwise. And I'm holding the spool so that I can get that done. Then I like to note the orientation of the spring washers that go next, and then we have the two sides that we take apart. We also are going to get to this, which is going to be one of the bearings, so I'm going to remove that cap right now. Alright, we're going to take the two of these out. They're side plate screws, they're thumb screws if you have enough tension. If you don't have enough tension there, then by all means use a screwdriver. As I mentioned, this was previously worked on, so we're not going to do a full tune-up, but you can watch because I'm going to have to take the whole piece off anyway to get to the drag system. So pay attention and you'll be able to get that one done as well. Alright, we're going to remove the two screws that are holding the bridge set in. And I like this reel. It's been used a lot, but as I mentioned, when I get into free spool, it's just kind of sluggish from a casting standpoint. And I've always wanted to try the ceramic bearings on this one, and we'll see if it makes a difference. I think it will. I've used the ceramic bearings on some other folks' reels, and they made all the difference in the world, so we'll see if this has the same effect here. I'm hopeful that it does. I like this small capacity spool, and just working to get this last screw out here. Just a little bit stuck, there we go. You'll notice that I'm putting all my pieces into a parts tray, simply the bottom of a milk jug. And here we go. We can take this set off here. And I don't believe that this bearing is held in by anything at the moment. This bearing is not. Some of these have a clip, and this one doesn't appear to have that clip. So I'll open this up and grab the first one and just put that right in place. So smoothdrag.com provides drag washers for most of the fishing reels, and it also provides ceramic bearings for some. So if you're interested in getting a ceramic bearing upgrade, this side is that simple. Just pull and replace. I'm going to put that off to the side so I don't confuse that with the next one. And these are already oiled, so you don't need to do anything with those. Next up then is to replace the drag washer set. Notice when you take this off, this is the reverse of the way you might normally see it because, well, the reel is spinning opposite what you would normally have it spin at. So if you're wondering why that is, that plastic part of that AR clutch is facing up. I'm going to get these two springs off here. They generally jump around a lot, and you need a little bit of pressure to get this main gear off here. There we go. All right, and my ceramic bearings, Carbontex drag washers that I got are one small, one large. Let's just go ahead and grab those. The idea with the Carbontex is that it's going to last longer. So I noticed when I was rebuilding this reel the first time that it was time for a changeover, and I figured as long as I'm going there for the ceramic bearings, I might as well go get the Carbontex washers while we're at it. So we'll get that one off the stem. And generally speaking, I would go in at this point and we would do some cleaning, but this one was just rebuilt. It doesn't need to be cleaned. And let's see if we can get this in here. I'm hopeful that we can. Yep, we can. And the nice thing about this one is it actually gives you more surface space than the original. And the more surface space you have, the more max drag you have. So in this case, the ceramic washer may actually give you a little bit of max drag, more max drag too while you're at it. I'm just going to re-grease the main gear. It's a good time to do that while I have it off the stem. And then we can simply push that back on. Get it to snap in. We'll put our main metal washer on there. Then we have that little stud that sits the ferrule, and there's two studs on there, so make sure that they get into the piece before you go do the others. We'll just take these and put those off to the side now. So all I have left then is to replace that back washer. So if you were rebuilding this reel, there is a video in my library for that, but just make sure you do what we just did there. Remove the main gear, make sure it's all clean. This one's been cleaned already, and that you can grease it up. A little bit more grease onto that spool. We're just going to set that aside for a moment. Here's the location of the other bearing. It's got a small wire clip in there that's holding it in. And I was actually expecting to see that wire clip with the other bearing in the side case, but that didn't seem to be, and I guess that's okay. Let's see if we can just kind of poke this clip out here. So I like to hold it down with my finger as I go to work that clip out. Just looking for the piece that's the tail end. And you can lift it out, and you might see it's just started to lift out here. And then you can remove that clip. And then the bearing should just come out. Just like that. So that bearing is out now. Again, I'm going to put that up to the side because I don't want to lose the, or just confuse it. I said lose, but confused. All right, and we can put the new one in. These are already oiled and they're ceramic, so again, it says we don't need to do anything there. And we'll just go ahead and put the clip back in. This is tough. I have large fingers, and this is not an easy task here. Actually, I'm going to take my glove off so that I have the feeling to that there. I try to wear that protective glove to keep the stuff off my hands and make sure that it all gets in. All right, well, we're in. So what we did was there's a little groove riding here that holds that spring clip. You can see that. That's what we were working on there. All right, spool goes back in. Two springs here to load for the top case. We can load our case. Line those up with the holes for those two small screws. Go to your parts tray for those. So if you like this kind of video, please subscribe to it. I'm asking if you do subscribe to hit the notification button. That way you'll see when I post reel repairs, and I post a lot of them. I've been trying to do this every day, just whatever comes into my shop. In this case, this one's been in my shop a long time. This is my reel, but doesn't matter what it is. This happens to be a round bait caster. I do a low profile bait casters, spinning reels, trolling reels, salt water. We get a lot of salt water. Somebody actually wrote me the other day and asked me if I only work on Penn reels because, well, at the time I had a lot of Penn reels coming in. And Penn, for the longest time, has been specialized in salt water. However, they just started doing some low profile salt water bait casters under the Squall sub-brand. And seems like it's becoming popular, so we'll see. Okay, when you go to load this reel, you need to make sure that your kick is in the down position. We'll come over here and put the last part of the spring set on. There's two washers. They're bent. They do not get straightened. I have a lot of questions on that, about those cap washers. Those are tension washers. There's also a washer in the cap here. A lot of folks ask me if they should straighten them out, and the answer is no. That bend is there for elasticity to provide some variance. I kind of forgot I got my left-handed reel. So you put it on counterclockwise. Let's go ahead and put that back onto the reel at this point. When you go to load your free spool release, pull that button up, and you've got your trigger down at this point. So that's how you set that so that it fires back. Just going to hand tighten this for the time being. Time to put the handle back on. We're going to put that tension washer below it. Handle. 10mm nut. We're almost back where we started. Again, this goes in the opposite direction because of the way that this reel works. You want to make sure you tighten your drag down so you don't bind the handle against the handle nut. This is why I like to start these by hand, because this one is starting to cross thread. Unless you get that right, you're going to rip up the post. Then you're going to have trouble. It needs to go on square. I think we got it that time. There we go. So we'll tighten that one down. If you get the flat side of the nut perpendicular to the hole, your nut tie-down case will generally line up, almost. One more little turn. I missed just a little slightest bit. It's a little balancing act here. That should be it. Yep, tie-down nut, which fortunately didn't fall very far when I dropped it. And then we'll give it a spin. We'll see how it did. See if those bearings and the new washers make a difference. I've been told they will, and I know I've installed these on the Calcutta 400. It's made all the difference in the world. Haven't done it on my own reel though. Kind of just a maker's child, right? All right, give it a spin. Way over tightened. I'm going to back that off. Let's see how we do with the still tight. Oh yeah, that's quite a difference in the spool now. You can see how it's spinning nicely. So those bearings make a big difference in the ability to free spool this reel. Let's just make sure my drags are tight. And they're holding nicely. Oh yeah, I like this performance a whole lot better. I can't wait to put some line on this. I love that spool. That's going to cast long. Love the difference in those bearings. All right. Well, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please like it. If you want to see more like this, please subscribe. If you have a question on this reel or any reel in particular, leave it in the comments section. I'll try to answer it. And beyond all things, please stay well, stay safe. Please be vigilant during this pandemic. Take care of yourself and help take care of others. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.